In a world where fame and vulnerability collide, one woman's story will forever echo through the corridors of time. A dazzling model turned actress, Rebecca Schaeffer, was destined for greatness. But on a fateful day, destiny took a sinister turn. In the chilling depths of obsession, a man described as a deranged fan shattered the dreams of a promising star. He confessed that his twisted inspiration came from a 1982 People magazine article, a grim tale of Arthur Jackson's horrifying visit to Raging Bull actress Teresa Saldaña's doorstep, determined to snuff out her light. Today, we unravel the threads of tragedy and obsession as we journey through the chilling events that shook Hollywood and pay tribute to a life cut short. This is the chilling story of Rebecca Schaeffer. In the quiet corners of Eugene in Oregon, beneath the canopy of towering trees, a star was born. On November 6, 1967, the world welcomed Rebecca Lucille Schaeffer, a luminous soul destined for greatness. Born to Jewish parents, Donna Schaeffer, a writer and instructor who taught at Willamette University, and Benson Schaeffer, a compassionate child psychologist, the Schaeffer family embodied love, unity, and a profound connection to their Jewish heritage. In her own words, she once described her family as a three-legged stool, steadfast and unbreakable no matter the distance that separated them. Little did they know that their daughter would one day capture the hearts of millions, leaving an indelible mark on the world. Rebecca's dreams, however, were as diverse as the colors of the world she'd come to embrace. From contemplating the sacred path of becoming a rabbi to the vibrant adventures that lay ahead, her spirit radiated with endless possibilities. The family moved from the cozy embrace of Eugene to the vibrant city of Portland, where Rebecca's journey began. In the hallowed halls of Lincoln High School, she wasn't just a student, she was a shining star, excelling both in her studies and social circles. But destiny had a different path. It was her hairdresser who spotted the spark within her and introduced her to Troutman Profiles Incorporated at a tender age of 14. Within a period of time, she found herself gracing department store catalogs as she showcased the latest fashionable outfits for the back-to-school season. Modeling became her passion, her runway to the stars. In her heart, the dream of becoming a rabbi had quietly faded away, making room for a new kind of devotion. In August 1984, Rebecca wrapped up her New York internship at just 16, drawn to the city's vibrant pulse and endless promise. Instead of heading back to Portland to complete her high school education, she boldly chose to remain in the Big Apple, attending the professional children's school while chasing her dreams of modeling and acting. In a whirlwind, she secured her spot as Annie Barnes in the soap opera One Life to Live. The fashion world, however, hesitated due to her height. At 5'7", she stood 2 inches shorter than the average fashion model. Undaunted, she ventured to Japan, hoping for a breakthrough, but unfortunately, things did not go her way as she found a detour back to New York with a newfound focus on acting, which turned out to be the best choice at the time. Her decision led her to settle into the dazzling world of celebrity, where love intertwined with fame as she started dating Brad Silberling, a 23-year-old graduate student studying filmmaking at UCLA who later went on to become a successful director. Well, with fame comes a wave of adoring fans, and Rebecca, too, was not excluded from their passionate devotion. As the fan mails started pouring in, Rebecca's joy was palpable, and she shared her excitement with Judy Crown, a hairstylist who worked on the sitcom My Sister Sam. But Judy, with a sense of unease, cautioned Rebecca not to engage with these tokens of admiration, for she knew all too well that the world could hold its share of unpredictability. In a heartfelt interview with the Television Academy Foundation, She painted a picture of Rebecca as someone strikingly beautiful and irresistibly charming, but still had a little bit of innocence. In 1988, the curtains fell on My Sister Sam, marking a turning point for Rebecca. Her next role in Scenes from the Class Struggle in Beverly Hills, directed by Paul Bartle, showcased a different side, a trendy and stylish black comedy that expanded her horizons. With newfound sensibility, she even auditioned for The Godfather 3. Rebecca was on the brink of a promising acting career when tragedy struck on that very day that she was set to audition for the coveted role of Michael Corleone's daughter in The Godfather 3, a chance that could have transformed her life forever. A man who was an unemployed fast food worker from Tucson in Arizona, driven by an unhealthy obsession towards her, shattered her dreams. The man behind this tragic twist was Robert John Bardo. Robert John Bardo was the son of a former Air Force officer and the youngest of 7 siblings. Growing up in Tucson, he had become the object of relentless physical and psychological abuse during that period. A ticking time bomb is how one teacher described him, haunted by his experiences. At just 13, he had embarked on a haunting journey, boarding a bus to Maine in pursuit of Samantha Smith, the child famous for her letter to Mikhail Gorbachev. Authorities intervened, bringing him back to Tucson. He was hospitalized twice for severe emotional trauma. A troubled student who penned threatening letters to his teachers, Bardo would soon find a chilling obsession. As a 16-year-old janitor at a fast food joint, he discovered an escape in reality television. His fixation took hold in the fall of 1986, focusing on the character Patty, which was portrayed by Rebecca Schaeffer. He even transformed his bedroom into a shrine to her and had started writing letters to Rebecca just like all the other countless fans did. When Rebecca responded, deeming his letter the most beautiful whilst drawing a peace sign, a heart, and signing it off by writing with love from Rebecca, it ignited a spark in Bardo. The day Bardo received the letter, he wrote in his diary, "When I think of her, I would like to become famous to impress her." In June 1987, Bardo stood at the gates of the Burbank studio where My Sister Sam was produced, clutching a teddy bear and a bouquet of roses, all for Rebecca. The guard, however, stood firm, denying him entry. Undeterred, he returned a month later, this time with a knife, but destiny yet again refused to open those doors for him. In his diary, he made an ominous declaration, "I don't lose, period." Retreating to Tucson, he watched Class Struggle in Beverly Hills, where Rebecca's intimate scene with a male actor shattered his perception of her innocence. According to him, she had now become one more of the trollops of Hollywood, and in his twisted perspective, he believed it was his duty to discipline what he saw as Rebecca's moral transgressions. He meticulously sketched a diagram of Rebecca's body, marking the spots where he intended to shoot her. He had attempted to purchase a gun, but the owner of the shop refused to sell one to him when he found out about Bardo's history of mental illness. Desperate to acquire a weapon, he turned to his older brother, making a pact to use it only for target practice. An ominous letter to his sister in Tennessee spoke of a sinister determination. "If I can't have Rebecca, then no one will." He boarded a bus bound for Hollywood, hell-bent on tracking her down. Bardo's obsession had escalated. On July 17, 1989, he called Rebecca's agent's office, desperately seeking her whereabouts, but they wisely refused to divulge any information. Undaunted, he took to the streets, thrusting her photo at strangers probing for her address, but had no luck. His determination, however, knew no bounds, so much so that he even parted with $300 to enlist a private investigator's help. The investigator, using DMV records, found her address very quickly, a shocking reminder that at the time, driver's license information was public knowledge. The pieces of this chilling puzzle were unfortunately falling into place and in favor of John. On the eerie evening of July 18, 1989, armed with Rebecca's address, Bardo, donned in a yellow polo shirt, set foot at the building she lived and rang her doorbell. The intercom wasn't working, so she came downstairs to the apartment building's front door, and there, face to face, she encountered the man she had never expected to see. It wasn't the Godfather script she had been expecting for delivery, but instead was a man claiming to be her biggest fan, bearing a letter and an autographed photo she had previously sent. Following a brief exchange, Rebecca, with a sense of unease, urged Bardo to leave and never come back, firmly closing the door behind her. Bardo reluctantly retreated, leaving an ominous cloud hanging in the air. After grabbing a meal an hour later, he reappeared at her doorstep like a shadow, refusing to fade away. When Rebecca opened the door again, he fired a .357 caliber handgun at point-blank range. In a chilling account, Bardo recalled the incident as he mentioned that she had a childlike voice, likening it to that of a brat, and that she accused him of wasting her time. This angered him and he reached for the door, all this while keeping the gun in his bag, and then pulled the trigger, which resulted to her screams. In the echoing aftermath of 2 deafening gunshots and the bone-chilling screams, a neighbor named Richard Goldman sprang into action. Racing to Rebecca's door, he encountered a scene of sheer horror, an ethereal figure clad in a black robe trembling in the building's entrance. With trembling hands, he checked her pulse, but it was a futile endeavor. Life had already departed. Her limbs sprawled haphazardly, wedged between the door and its frame. Witnesses had spotted a young man in a yellow shirt jogging up the Hollywood block, where he veered into the walkway and vanished. Rebecca was swiftly rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where she fought for 30 agonizing minutes before succumbing to her wounds. Her final journey took her back to her native Oregon, where she found her resting place. The very next day in Tucson, chaos erupted on Highway 10 as frantic motorists dialed 911 to report a man recklessly darting through traffic, seemingly seeking a tragic collision. He instantly admitted to Rebecca's murder. Arizona police promptly transmitted his photo to Los Angeles, where witnesses verified his identity. In court, he looked dizzy and disoriented, and he said, "I could probably tell you what I did after I killed her. How I got sick and all, but I don't feel like it." A year post the tragedy, Bardo granted an interview where he mentioned how he was a devoted fan and had perhaps let it consume him. He further claimed that the media had painted him as a monster, which we all agree he is, and that he had one wish, which was to see Rebecca Schaeffer alive again. When news of the murder reached Bardo's sister, she took a crucial step and contacted the authorities about her troubled brother. Soon, he was extradited to California, ready to face the courtroom trial. Bardo's defense attorneys launched a bold argument, claiming that his traumatic childhood, which was marked by abuse, had left him with an unstable mental disorder which rendered him incapable of premeditated murder. His brother testified, revealing that Bardo had previously been confined to a psychiatric hospital during his youth. Bardo found himself on trial, prosecuted by the notable Marcia Clark, who would later gain notoriety for her role in the O.J. Simpson case. On October 29, 1991, he received a first-degree murder conviction in a non-jury courtroom, leading to a life sentence without parole handed down by Superior Court Judge Dino Fulgoni. With eyes aflame like sinister neons, Bardo addressed the judge, declaring that the notion that he killed her for fame was utterly absurd. He added that he comprehended the gravity of his actions and didn't think it needed to be compounded by a web of deceit just because she was an actress. On July 28, 2007, during his prison sentence, he endured a vicious attack, leaving him with 11 stabs and puncture wounds, a stark reminder of the consequences of his actions. Bardo is jailed at Avenal State Prison in California, where he spends much of his time drawing celebrities. The tragic murder of Rebecca Schaeffer and the assault on Teresa Saldana catalyzed significant change. Governor George Dickmajian took action, signing a groundbreaking law that barred the DMV from releasing addresses. It also inspired the creation of the first-ever threat management team within the Los Angeles Police Department. In 1990, California pioneered anti-stalking legislation, which took effect on the first day of 1991. This pioneering law served as a model, aiding in the conviction of numerous criminals. Notably, by 1990, California became the very first state to pass such anti-stalking legislation. However, the need for change was undeniable. Despite restraining orders, 4 women in Orange County had lost their lives to men who had been relentlessly harassing them in the previous year. The rest of the nation soon followed suit, with all states and even Canada enacting anti-stalking laws by 1993, a powerful testament to the enduring legacy of these tragic events. As we conclude this heart-wrenching journey, the echoes of Rebecca Schaeffer's tragic fate and the resilience of those who responded to her untimely loss still reverberate. In the wake of darkness, her story ignited change, ushering in a new era of protection for countless individuals. She leaves behind a legacy not only as a brilliant actress and model, but above all as an extraordinary human being, forever etched in our hearts. May her memory and legacy forever live in our hearts and minds. If you found this video compelling, drop a like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.